Isles of the Emberdark, Brandon Sanderson's next epic legend Cosmere lore. In a universe where seas whisper with gods and stars blaze with empires hungry for conquest, one man, one dragon, and the echo of a dead god will decide the fate of worlds. Imagine, if you will, an ocean so vast and deadly that few dare cross it, and yet beyond its horizon lies a darkness called the Emberdark, a place where the boundaries between realms thin, where legends are born, and where destiny waits. This is the story of Isles of the Emberdark, Brandon Sanderson's breathtaking voyage into the Cosmere, the world of Patji. Picture this, an island cloaked in mists, its jungles alive with predators so cunning, so merciless, that even the bravest trapper treads with caution. This is Patji, a land where the very earth is sacred and the seas remember every drop of blood spilled upon their waves. Here lives a man called Sixth of the Dusk, a trapper, hardened and scarred, whose life is bound to the Aviar, extraordinary birds that grant supernatural gifts to those they choose. Imagine carrying a companion whose wings carry foresight of your death, or the power to cloak you from danger. On Patji, survival is not a gift. It is an art, honed by generations. But the world is changing. From beyond the skies come the ones above, a people of starships and endless technology, eyes set on Patji's secrets and its Aviar. They do not ask, they take. And Dusk sees the storm gathering. His people, ancient and proud, may not withstand the weight of an empire that spans the stars. The Emberdark beckons, and then fate stirs. A mystical portal opens, a gateway into the Emberdark, a sea beyond seas, a place not entirely of this world, shimmering with danger and possibility. It is said that within its expanse lies salvation or doom. Dusk, with only his canoe, his Aviar, and the iron will of a Patji trapper, sets his sights upon this unknown horizon. Picture him, a solitary figure pushing his craft into waters that shimmer with unnatural light, knowing he carries not just his life, but the hope of his entire people. Starling of the dynamic. Yet this is not his story alone. Far beyond Patji sails another soul, Starling. Once a dragon of fire and sky, now bound in human form, she serves aboard the starship Dynamic. But freedom comes at a price, and Starling and her ragtag crew of exiles are drowning in debt. One wrong move, and their lives are forfeit. But then fortune glimmers. Starling discovers an ancient map, a clue to a portal that bridges the Emberdark and the physical realm. To her, it is salvation, a chance to pay debts, reclaim power, perhaps even break the chains of her exile. Now pause and imagine this moment. A dragon in disguise, clutching secrets that could change the balance of galaxies, steering her ship into peril because sometimes the only way forward is through the storm. A meeting of legends. Two paths, two destinies. One man bound to the land, one dragon chained to the stars. Their journeys converge within the Emberdark, a realm of shifting tides, poisonous politics, and bargains struck in whispers. Here, Sixth of the Dusk and Starling become unlikely allies. Neither trusts easily. Both carry the weight of their worlds. In the darkness between seas and skies, survival demands more than isolation. Together, they face conspiracies woven by powers greater than themselves. The ones above, hungry and relentless. The memory of a dead god, whose echo still reverberates through the Cosmere. And the Emberdark itself, which devours the unprepared. Themes of struggle and survival. What makes this tale so compelling, listener, is not just the clash of empires or the sweep of galactic drama. It is the intimate struggle of identity and survival. Dusk fears modernization will strip his people of their soul, even as he knows they must adapt or die. Starling longs for freedom, yet every choice she makes binds her tighter to the debts of her past. Both must ask, what is the cost of survival? And when do you stop running and stand your ground? Sanderson weaves these questions into every page, making the vastness of space feel as personal as the beating of your own heart. The perils of the Emberdark. The Emberdark is no gentle sea. It is a crucible. Imagine black waters that gleam like molten glass, skies that burn with stars too close, and currents that drag ships into realms unseen. Within these waters dwell perils, creatures twisted by forgotten magics, storms that echo with divine wrath, and the lingering shadow of a god whose death did not silence his voice. Here, Dusk's skills as a trapper are tested beyond imagination. Every knot tied, every decision of when to paddle and when to wait could mean the difference between life and oblivion. And for Starling, every choice threatens to unmask her true self, the dragon beneath the human skin. Politics, bargains, and echoes of gods. But not all dangers are born of storms. The Emberdark is a crossroads of powers, emissaries of rival factions, starfarers who smell opportunity, and whispers of those who still serve the memory of a dead god. Imagine the weight of their bargains. A trapper forced to negotiate with empires, a dragon gambling her crew's freedom, both caught in webs of politics that could consume them whole. And at the heart of it all, the haunting truth. When gods die, their echoes remain, and echoes can still destroy worlds. The bond of unlikely allies. It would be easy for Dusk and Starling to remain enemies, hunter and dragon, land and sky. Yet in the Emberdark, survival is rarely solitary. Trust is forged not in comfort, but in fire. Picture them, back to back on a creaking deck, facing threats neither can overcome alone. A man whose birds whisper warnings of death. A dragon whose blood burns with flame, yet who hides her true self. Two souls, bound by necessity, discovering that hope often comes from the most unlikely of allies. And here lies the heart of Sanderson's tale, that sometimes salvation does not come from gods or empires, but from those willing to risk everything for each other. Expanding the Cosmere. For long-time travelers of the Cosmere, this novel is a revelation. Isles of the Emberdark expands upon the beloved novella 6th of the Dusk, taking its intimate survival tale and stretching it across a canvas of galactic superpowers and mythic stakes. We glimpse the larger dance of the Cosmere, the ones above, the mysteries of portals, and the question of how worlds survive when empires collide. Yet even amidst the grandeur, Sanderson roots the story in human and draconic struggle, closing resonance. And so, listener, imagine the Emberdark one final time, an endless sea shimmering with both promise and peril. A canoe, fragile against its vastness. A starship, its hull battered but unbroken. A man, a dragon, and a choice that will ripple through the Cosmere. This is not merely a tale of survival. It is a legend of transformation, of worlds caught between past and future, of souls caught between chains and freedom. And as Brandon Sanderson reminds us, sometimes the greatest journeys begin not with certainty, but with the courage to step into the unknown. So, dear traveler, if you dare, imagine yourself setting sail into the Emberdark. What bargains would you strike? What dangers would you face? And most of all, would you have the courage to return?